yes, this is the event that you wait all week just to get to the middle of the week so you can get there and be a part of this greatness. And yes, this greatness is authored by, it's the vision of, it's the dream of the man himself. Don't you want freedom for everybody? Well, I know who does. Welcome to the Freedom Call, Mr. Ty Best. Great day, Mr. Best. And you got to unmute yourself.
I'm talking away. I'm talking to Facebook. I'm having myself a good time. I'm telling you, can tell I'm off my game, man. I tell you, it's nothing like when I go pop on the computer and then for a non-technology guy like me, it decides to ask me to do something different. I am a creature of habits, and so I go here to log in, and it got me doing something different. It has me logging in like I've never been here before in my lifetime. I'm going, oh, man, so I've been fooling with it for like 10 minutes to get logged in. So I must apologize to you for that delay, but thank God we got it done. Hello to all the folks on Facebook Live as well. I'm streaming that live tonight because I want to make sure people got this and they can send this thing out to everyone. Good evening, Mr. Dalco. Good evening, Mr. Nisha Glass. Mr. Nisha Glass, I sure hope you are feeling better and regaining your strength. I hear that, you've been dealing with those physical challenges, and my prayers are with you and the family, because that's something special, man. You maintain your health and do what we got to do all of that place. Good evening, Mr. Mike Johnson. Good evening, Mr. Roger Williams, and of course, good evening, Mr. Nate Hines, and hey to all the folks who are joining us. Look, tonight's call, I'm do my best one more time. Every week I say I'm gonna be brief. This is not going to take long. And of course, I never quite live up to those expectations. So, but tonight, I titled the thing, The Ultimate Pay Plan. And it's a combination of some thoughts that have been running around my head with, of course, Mr. Michael L. Dalco, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad, and of course, Mr. Mike Johnson. And Mr. Mike Johnson, of course, is joining me again. We'll work together again on this platform, and he put together some slides for me. So, of course, Mr. Roger Wynn, appreciate if you can join him in and give him access so he can bring those slides up. But the idea behind the ultimate pay plan is to really, I'm doing everything I can, folks, to maintain the simplicity of what we're doing, because everything starts with that simplicity. Okay, the simpler we can keep things, the faster we're going to recruit. And you know how I believe that simplicity creates duplication, duplication creates wealth. And the reason it creates wealth because the simplicity creates the duplication, which creates the numbers. And as I always say, the folks with the biggest team will make the most money. That's just the way it works. That's just the way the industry has worked for years. But no matter how strong you are at doing this business, the bigger your team is, the more volume is going to be moved. That's just the way it works. And so, but tonight, I'm not going to overhype the compensation. That's not the idea. I want to show you what makes this compensation plan that we have with GS Partners the greatest thing I've seen in 38 years. And I believe it's the greatest thing that anything even close resembling this industry has ever seen. Because we're not just I don't want to say just as, we're not only a networking company. We not only have a networking concept, which you can use the power of leverage to build your income. And if you still right now don't understand the power of leveraging your time and energy and talents with people all around the world, then you haven't quite gotten in the game yet. This is the future. Teaching people from birth, from elementary school, the power of leverage. Because right now, if you're still selling your time to earn money, if you're still in that place where you haven't heard those simple words by Warren Buffett that says, if you don't figure out how to make money while you sleep, you're going to work till you die. That's been proven over and over again. J. Paul Getty said what? I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own. Here's the first billionaire that makes that statement 100 years ago, but we got every educational platform in the world, educational institution in the world, teaching people how to get educated, go get a job, and sell your time for 40 hours a week to 6 hours a week at a time. To sell your life for 40 to 6 hours a week at a time. And we're doing it, and we're still thinking inside that box. Okay? But then along comes this industry about 60 years ago saying, we're going to allow the average person to to leverage the time, efforts, and energy of people all over the world, and it's not going to cost a fortune to do it. You don't have to put up $1 million to get a McDonald's to do it. You don't have to buy a franchise to do it. You don't have to become a great corporation to do it. You can start right now where you are right now. And that's what started me 38 years ago, that idea that I could start that day, become my own boss, and give myself a raise. If you're here for the first time, if you don't leave this conversation with anything but that one point right there, that this industry puts you in a position to give yourself a raise, you should be excited. You should be flat out turned on that, wait a minute. I don't have to wait for a year to get a raise. I don't have to ask the boss for a raise. Okay, I don't have to go out and invest $50,000 or $100,000 or $200,000 to start a business on the corner to get a raise. That I can give myself a raise right now. Well, that's what I've been teaching people for the last 30 years. This industry has been providing an opportunity for people since the 50s. But then along 8 months ago comes this company called GS Partners, and we're going to take that to the next level. I'm here to tell you guys, I want you to please feel me. I don't care who you're talking to. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they market. I don't care what company they're in. Don't matter. We're so far compensation plan ahead of anything else in the marketplace. A job, a traditional business, a traditional networking concept, than anything in the marketplace. And several reasons. Not only do we get paid every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we are available to market in 150 countries. That means we get compensated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in 150 plus countries we do business in. Okay, the income potential is completely unlimited. There is no overhead. There's no monthly fee. There's no employees. And we have people over here right now making $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 a month in 8 months with all those things and none of those issues that traditional business has. And no other company ever can sit there and say, in their first 8 months, they paid out millions of dollars in commissions. They bought one of the top producers a $1 million home. Another one giving $400,000 bonus to buy another home. They've given away three people $200,000 of cars and giving out $3.5 million commissions on top of what's in this ultimate pay plan. Now, I just told you about the stuff on top of the comp plan. Now I'm gonna talk about the comp plan. So good evening, Mr. Mike Johnson. I was just giving folks a few minutes to join us, and I would encourage you, man, to text everybody you can to get them to see this, because I'm not going to go through the nitty gritty of the comp plan. And when this person does, you make this. I want people to understand how simple this thing is for you to put yourself in a position to be free. And then you can think about wealth, because next week we set this up. Next week is going to be how to earn $1 million in the next 12 to 18 months. Next week, next Wednesday Freedom Call is how to earn $1 million in the next 12 to 18 months. That's next Wednesday. But this Wednesday is about how to get more. Okay? I had to have a conversation with Mr. Johnson. I said, Mr. Johnson, you got to tone it out. Because Mr. Johnson always thinking big. Deborah Nixon this morning said, took the thing from think big quicker. She went dream big quicker. Okay? I said, go ahead, Deborah Nixon. Dream big quicker. Well, okay, tonight, I just want you to start thinking about more. Okay? I believe 38 years ago, if the gentleman had stopped me in the locker room and said, I'm going to show you how to get rich, I don't think he would have got my attention. He showed me, I want to tell you about a program where part-time, you're going to become free and never work for anybody again in your life. I would have said, man, this joker just making up stuff, and he probably wouldn't have got my attention. Some of you right now are overselling the program. Okay? Because see, what did Miss Sherry Brown play this morning? The guy said, if your belief system's here, you can't have a goal here if your belief system's down here. If you believe you're only worth 10, 20, 30 grand a year, I can show you how you can make $1 million, but you can't thrive for that because you don't believe that. So we got to meet people where they can believe. And then once you get the belief system on, you'll start climbing up that ladder. And so 38 years ago, the gentleman asked me, do I know anyone who would like to make an extra $1,500 a month? And I said, yes, me. So I'm wanting everybody to tone down. You ain't got to oversell this thing. You ain't got to run around all day talking about Mr. Delco's a 7-figure year earner, and I'm a 7-figure year earner. And let me get you on the phone with a 7-figure year earner. And every time you think you got a potential big shot on the phone, you got to get them on the phone with somebody you think making millions of dollars to get their attention. It's not necessary, because it's not about what I've done. It's not about what Mr. Delco's done. It's about them looking at the opportunity and seeing a potential to get more. And then let their own consciousness lead to what their potential is. If their potential to make their potential is and what their belief is. Their belief will, their potential, their income will never really truly exceed their belief, unless by accident. So, Mr. Johnson, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing great, Mr. Betts. Can you hear me okay, sir?
You're coming in loud and clear, nice and wonderful. You had anything you want to add before we get started?
Buckle up, family.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Betts.
Now look, where my book, my beach. I gotta have my resident networking Bible with me now. I don't know what I keep moving it and tossing it around, and I have it everywhere. My beach money book. Anyway, you've seen it 1,000 times. I mean, I'm gonna have to call the guys to, man, you got Jordan. I want my commission, man, because I keep talking about that book, because that book has had a profound impact on my thinking and my teaching as of this point. Okay, and he talks about just the simplicity, which everyone who's been around me knows that's what I talk about all the time. All the time. GS Partners is simple. We have some unique product back there that we have to be educated on, but the business model is simple. There are only 3 things you got to do to get paid here. I hope you're writing these down and taking notes. It's already up there in front of you. 3 things. Get a package. Let's see, we get into the detail. We start talking about what package should I get. Get a package. The faster, the better. Dream bigger, do it faster, do it quicker. Get a package. Okay? I hope, do I need to say it one more time? Now, of course, people ask me, so what would it take to get started now? About $250 in Bitcoin. You'll start it. Get a package. Step 2, what's the second thing you must do? Exchange paper currency, declining paper dollars for what? For digital assets, for Bitcoin, for G999, for all the assets. Don't try to let a person drag you and try to explain all these assets. It's like saying get a membership at Sam's, and then you walk them through and say, here are all the things available at Sam's, and you spend 3 hours telling them that. They're not going to remember all that stuff anyway. Hey, man, look, go back in the back office, walk through the thing, and you decide what you want to get. We can give you some counsel, but I'm not an investment advisor anyway. But we have a whole bunch of digital assets back there, from cryptocurrency to real estate now. It's all back there, but get a package. Exchange declining paper dollars, this stuff, okay, for digital assets, and them 3 share with everyone 98.6 and breathing. You do those 3 things on a consistent basis. Just doing those 3 things go put you in position to make over $300,000 in the next 9 to 12 months. Well, no other questions. Let me ask you questions. Does that sound like something you'll be interested in? Yes, it does. Great. Let's get you started. Why need to know more? No. Yes, but you don't need to know more to get started. It's a $250 decision to put you in a position to make over $300,000. Do you see anyone else offering an opportunity like that on this planet? And not only are you in a position to make that kind of money, that money you've been paid is in a potential appreciating assets. You notice I'm being careful. I'm trying to slow down and be careful about the words I'm using here, because I want you to feel free to send this anywhere in the world to someone who's listening. Okay? That's the only 3 things you got to do. You don't have to become an expert in real estate. You don't have to become an expert in G999. You don't have to become an expert in the blockchain. We have a lot of folks on the team who are. And wait a minute. So, okay, well, Okay, can you explain? No. You know what? Because in that package for $250, you're going to get video training every single month. It's going to train on the blockchain. It's going to explain you what crypto is. It's going to explain you what G999 is. It's going to explain what that, all the other stuff in our back office. You're going to get videos and stuff that are training on that. Now, you ready to make a $250 decision? I got to do some more research. Great, fantastic. Then let me tell you about step 4. What? In order to learn all the things you want to learn, all you got to do is plug in. I'm not the teacher. I got to go to the next person. I spend my time introducing people to the business and tell them about these 3 steps that's going to put them in a position to make over $300,000 in the next 9 to 12 months. It could be 9 days, it could be 9 weeks, it could be 9 months, but it's up to them. But you can earn that as fast as you want to. Well, how about earn that? You know what? We do a presentation every night. The system, we do a presentation every night, 7 nights a week to explain that. We do a presentation 6 days a week at 12 o'clock to explain those details. Okay, great. See you back at 12 o'clock this afternoon. See you back at 9 o'clock tonight. See, I'm not going to take my time and explain it. I'm going to go talk to the next person and I'm going to drive them to the system. So if I was to add a step 4, it'd be plug in, plug in, plug in, plug in, plug in, plug in. Now watch this. You say, okay, great. Everybody got that. 3 simple steps. Now watch this. Here's the beauty of sharing with everyone and why this works. Because you share with everyone, every single person you share with, some folks gonna do what? They're gonna exchange a lot of dollars for assets, and some folks gonna exchange a few. But every single person that you invite into the program that takes advantage of step 3, that you invite to the program, you're gonna get paid on that first level. There's a referral fee. It actually have a unit level that pays 9 generations deep. I'm not going to talk about that. That's there. But what drives it is that first level pays 18% to every single person you invite into the system. Okay. And every time they exchange for any of our assets, you're going to get paid a direct commission of 18%. Mr. Johnson, you want to elaborate on that for a minute for us?
Oh, Mr. Best, you nailed it. 18%. I feel you, sir. Yes. The other 9 levels we'll talk about at another time. That's for another training. Mr. Best wanted to keep it simple. Family, 18% of anything that you refer. It could be someone in Japan, and he or she could go and buy $5,000 worth of coins tonight. As soon as that order hits the blockchain, you get paid 18%. That's it, Mr. Best.
And for those who, if you want to keep it simple, every $1,000 is $180 you just earned. And you can enroll or share with as many people as you want to. So wait a minute. So from day one, you're in a position to give yourself a raise right now. So if you go create $1,000 of business tonight, you just made $180. You create $10,000 of business tonight, you made $1,800. You go create $100,000 of business tonight, you go create. I didn't say you and your team. I said you go create $100,000 of business tonight. You say, well, I don't know how we'll do it. You don't. That's right. You don't know. It's an object of stepping out on faith. You can share with a friend of yours. So you know what? I got $100,000 sitting around my 401k. I can't stand it over there because I'm making 0.002%. Man, let me move that money. They move that money the next 24 to 40 hours. And they decide they want to take advantage of our assets that pay more. I'm not going to get into what it pays. It pays more. Verified. That's $18,000. Now, I'm not saying that happens all day long, but again, I want you thinking all the time. And when you're talking to someone, you don't have to oversell this thing. It puts them in a position to get more. I don't care if that friend of yours went in and spent one exchange, not spent, because that's another thing we need to wrap our mind around. You're not spending your money. And everything else out there, networking, people spend their money. When you buying nutritional products, you're spending money. You buying cosmetics, you're spending money. You buying weight loss, you're spending money. Everything else, you're spending money. Here, all you're doing is exchange. Your money's not gone. It went from your left pocket to the right pocket. And every time they take and save money, we get paid to teach people to save their own money. 18%. Okay. And next week, come back. We're going to go into what I'd like to say to Mr. Johnson, the nitty gritty. We're going to show you there's $1 million on the table for the next 12 to 18 months if you want to go get it. But I think we spend too much time overselling. So next week, if your goal is not to make $1 million real quickly and as fast as possible, don't come back to the Freedom Call next Wednesday. Don't invite your friends to the Freedom Call next Wednesday. Send them this one. Send them a copy of this one. Send them this recording and say, you just want to make a little more. You comfortable? You doing okay? You want to make a little more? We got a call for that was last week's call. Next week's call for the person like Deborah Nixon say, dream bigger, quicker. Next Wednesday's for them. Okay? And watch this. Now, that's the first step. But here's the thing that makes this the ultimate. Can we go to the next slide, Mr. Johnson? This
Yes,
is
sir.
what makes this the ultimate compensation plan right here to me. GS Partners did something, folks, that in my 30 years, it's never been done. See, in all my networking experience, I've always been able to build a team and made a significant amount of money. I mean, building a team, the way traditional network marketing things is, the team starts with me. If I go sponsor 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, everybody's in that organization, I will get compensated. It might be pennies, but those pennies add up as it goes into the thousands of people. I never got paid on what was happening cross line, never got paid on, and that way, by the way, and so I didn't have a vested interest in seeing the person cross line succeed. I had an altruistic interest, but I didn't have a genuine investment. Okay, that person succeeded or failed. I really didn't, I cared as a human being. But what GS Partners did is united the entire field by saying, we're going to put a pool together and we're going to make put everyone in a position to qualify for these pools. And so everyone don't just have a, we love you, a kumbaya reason to see you succeed. We actually have a financial incentive to see you succeed. Now, wealth builders, we have fostered a sense of family where we want everybody to succeed and we help everybody anyway. We was doing that before GS Partners. But now with what they've added here, we have a financial incentive, okay? I've never been in a program. Now, look, I'm telling you, I'm one leg from the company, but there are 4 other legs. In any other program I've ever been in, whatever those other legs did, I made no money, didn't mean anything. Or maybe there are a few companies where if I became grand poobah of the universe, I might get a profit sharing. Okay, I'm simplifying the communication process. You know what I'm saying? You had to achieve a high rank before you can get a little profit sharing, and then it really wasn't anything to write home about. Thank you, Mr. Michael Delco, Nisa Nakos, Martin Tebows, Andrew Cookman. I know I'm leaving spot out. All those folks on the council. So you can tell that this was put together by networkers with seasoned networkers with experience. Because they said, wait. We need something that will unite the entire field from day one. Man, folks, wrap your mind around this. They said, okay, we're going to have a Blockstar pool. And we're going to take 4% of total turnover. That's all sales revenue. I don't know why I use the word turnover, but people don't like the word sales, but it's all volume created. Every single month, we're going to take the total volume, we're going to put in a 4% pool, and we're going to call it the Blockstar pool. So when the company's doing $1 million a month, it's 4% of that. If it's 10 million, 4%. When the company's doing $100 million a month, that's $4 million going in the Blockstar pool. And let's relate that to you. How did you become a Blockstar? They say, anybody can be a Blockstar. Now, all of those who already hit Blockstar, man, please type in the chat room. I hit Blockstar, I hit Blockstar, I hit Blockstar, I hit Rising Blockstar. That's the first one. Because Rising Blockstar, you understand, that puts you in qualification for the rest of your GS Partners career. That means you can be in that 4% pool every single month for the rest of your career. Rising block size in your first 30 days. There's some tremendous benefits for doing your first stage. Why? Because number one, it incentivizes a person to don't sit around. The clock starts the minute you complete the application. The clock starts to tick, click, click, click. It's ticking. So that gives people a sense of urgency so they don't be sitting around for the next 3-4 months. And then some folks didn't take advantage or they didn't understand it way back in December. So here comes the heart, the compassion. Joseph Heiss and GS Partners again said, you know what? We're going to give you a second shot. And they gave folks a second shot in the month of July to get Rising Blockstar done. and all Rising Blockstar was, watch this, is do $3,000 of business and enroll 3 people somewhere on a plan of 7 billion who got a package. And it's going to give you 1 participation, not share. Share implies investment. It's going to give you 1 participation in that Blockstar pool. Okay, that 1 participation on the average last month was $160.
Mm-hmm.
That's on top of whatever you're earning 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You want to add something, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir. You hit the nail on the head, Mr. Best, when you mentioned it's more. This is just a bonus that you get the first business day of the following month. Now, mind you, you're getting 18% every day. Anytime you share whatever we do with anyone else, while you're generating this volume, 18% of this volume goes in your pocket. Think about that, family. 18% of that volume goes into your pocket.
Hey, Mr. Johnson, and truthfully, like I said, we haven't covered the other 8 levels, so you really get 18% plus. But we try to keep it simple for you.
Yes.
That should be enough to inspire you to pick up the phone and share. That 18%. Okay? So, and the people say, well, man, that's a lot. Well, yeah, that's 3 people who do 1,000 each, or 30 people who do 100, or 15 people who decided to save $200 a month. See, the numbers work no matter how you do the numbers, but if you want to make it easy on yourself, enroll first, tell as many people as you possibly can, because that's how you enroll as many people as you possibly can, because you have no control. One person may come in and decide to exchange $3,000. We have it all happen all the time. People come in and they say 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. So you have no control. But the point is, from day one, you get a chance to get more. But that 4%, that participation, not based on what you've done, that just qualifies you. It's based on what the whole world's done. Mm-hmm. So now you said, man, I can't find nobody. No, all you got to do is do that little volume right there. And you know what? Mike Johnson's now in your downline. I'm now in your downline. I'm now on your team. I don't even say down, because now you're down. I'm on your team, because my volume that I've been building for the last 8 months count towards your volume. That volume that Kevin 2X been doing is now your volume. That volume Dr. Patrice and Lady Lisa doing is now your volume. That volume Lisa Nako's doing that you don't know nothing about, that's now part of your volume. You're getting paid on everything the company do, and all you had to do is go find 3 and create $3,000 and you're going to get a little tiny piece of everything that happens in the company. You said, good Lord, that's not done in any other program on the planet. Okay? How can you tap into the experience of folks like Mr. Delco or myself or our volume? It's the only place I know is GS Partners. Okay? Mr. Delco say, hey, look, I've already hit, I didn't check today, but I think I already hit executive already 4 days into the month. Okay? You don't have to do that. All you got to do is, for the month's over, if you brand new, get Rising Blockstar done. Let's go to the second one, Blockstar. So you got 1 participation. Now you say, well, what's the next one? Blockstar. Blockstar is find 6 people, somewhere on the planet, of 7 plus billion, and get them to buy a package for $200. That automatically qualifies you for the next 12 months. You qualify. Okay, so you ain't got to think about that no more once you got that done. And all you got to do is create 10,000 on that front level. And now, wait a minute, you're going to pick up how many more shares is it, Mr. Stewart? Is it two more shares?
2 more shares. And if you hit Rising Blockstar, you get an extra share.
So they throw that extra share in there. Every month you do Blockstar.
Yes, sir.
So then you got 3 shares or 3 participations, excuse me. Let's get it right. Legal reason. 3 participations.
3 participations, yes, sir.
Times 160 on the whatever. See, 160, that's what it was last month. The month before that, it was actually more. So that's 160 times 3, whatever that math is, around 480, over $400. That's on top of the other income.
You're 18%. Remember, it's 18% of the $10,000 because it's frontline volume. 18% of $10,000, $1,800 in your pocket.
And an extra $400. So now you're already at $2,200.
Yes, sir.
Now, see, folks, this is what I'm saying. I'm slowing down this math because I think people don't understand. This is huge.
Yeah.
So when you, instead of get on the call being enamored by what I've done or Mr. Delco's done, what Nisa Nako's done, or what Montibo's done, or what all these Eric Teray's done, or Kevin 2X has done, or Dr. Hollins and Dr. Rhonda has done, and this executive done, and that executive done. And let me tell you what Crypto Steve did. You should say, ooh, all I got to do is sponsor me 6 and create $10,000 of value, and I'm getting a piece of everything all these leaders do all around the world. I guarantee you, when people find out what we're doing over here, you have them standing in line, okay, to sign up with you. If you're a serious person, and they know you're a serious person. Let's go one more step, man. Now, Blockstar Supreme. Now, the first two, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Let's be honest. The first two, in my mind, they're easy. They ain't that, they easy. But now this next one, you gotta be a big dog. You gotta want this next one. This next one, you gotta want. You gotta want this next one. But you can do it. It's called Blockstar Supreme. You enrolled 9. Okay, I got like 30 active. So that part is not difficult. To find 9 people that'll make a $200 decision, that's not difficult. But that $30,000 front line, now that's special.
Yes, sir.
That's special. Okay. And I'm telling you, that's special. And we have some people who've done that every single month from the day we started. I'm one of them. Mr. Dalco's one of them. Manisha's one of them. Eric Tariq Muhammad's one of them. Okay. Now I want you, Mr. Mike Jones, go ahead and do the math for me. I know you want to do it. What's 30,000? 30,000.
Didn't want to do the math. That's $5,400, sir. That's just doing the minimum. Remember, family, this is the minimum amount. There are people who hit Blockstar Supreme with much more than 30,000. Whatever this number is, you get 18%. So if 18% of 3,000 is $540, then 18% of 30,000 is $5,400. Now that money is paid to you the moment the volume hits the blockchain. You get paid instantly. The money over here, that's your bonus that they give you on the first business day of the following month. As Mr. Best says, just the more that they give you. See, family, every time you get promoted, you get more here.
So you already made the 5,000.
Yes, sir.
So we're not even talking about the other 8 generation. We're talking about just in the frontline volume, you done made 5,000 plus, and because it puts you in the pool, and you get what? Now you have a total. If you don't qualify for all of them, you have a total of 9 participations, yes, which could end up being really over $1,000. No matter how we look at it, $1,000.
When you add it all up, if you did it all in 1 month, it's a little over $1,400 based on these numbers.
Woo.
And we're just talking about the Blockstar pool, because the Blockstar pool, if you've done this, you're automatically qualifying for places in the Infinity pool. When we
got there yet. We salivate. We'll get there.
Okay.
Okay. I want them to just think about this for a minute and think about, if you've been around there, think about anything else you've done, that look up and be at $5,000 a month based on payment from the first level.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And worldwide pool. So you're talking now you're over 6,000, and we haven't even got to the bulk of the money yet.
Correct.
Now you understand why folks who are here making some insane amount of money who are doing the program. People here making more money they've ever made in their lifetime in networking or in anything. This doesn't exist anywhere else, folks. CeCe Malone just put this does. She's been around, so many years too. She know we're not hyping something up to you. We're just trying to tell you the truth, the way it is. This was happening. I called Mr. Delcos and I said, I feel almost guilty. People out there working 46 hours a week for peanuts, for nothing. Okay. Deborah Nixon played a video clip the other day, said there are 7 million people right now who are refusing. Just go back to work. They said we got a revolution going on right now because If they're going to pay you $3,000 to stay home, why would you go to work for $1,500? I mean, that's a whole nother seminar. This is what's happening in the marketplace. Or if they're going to pay you $1,300 or $1,500 a month to stay home, why are you going to take a job for $800? Don't make any sense. That's how you get into the conversation why socialism and communism don't work. If you're going to get paid for doing nothing, people are going to do. The average person going to sit home and do absolutely nothing. Okay? But man, this program right here is off the chain. What Joseph Haidt and Alexander Coaching and that council has put together. And so this 4% right there, and the fact that now it's not based on your talents, your ability. If you think I'm that great, then man, you want to be in J's Potters. If you think Mr. Delco walks on water, you want to be. If you think Coach KT Thompson is that the greatest, him and Shelby Thompson is the greatest thing you've ever seen in networking, then you want to get in right now. Because if you're so confident about what they're going to do, then ride on their confidence. If you're so confident about my abilities as a networker, then you need to ride on my confidence, Mr. Delco's confidence, Mike Johnson's confidence, Roger Williams' confidence, Tanisha's confidence. Man, this is incredible. Now, let's go to the next level because this is going to mess you up. We start talking about the infinity pools. Now you're going to lose a complete all 3 in 30 days and receive an average bonus of $1,400 on top of what you've been earning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wait a minute. In a potential appreciating asset.
Yes, sir.
That part also escapes. Those are dollar signs. Okay, what messed me up in December was when we started, Bitcoin was $18,000 a coin. By the end of December, it was over $30,000 a coin. I said, now you understand, I'm telling you guys, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm learning. That's why I'm trying to figure out ways to communicate to you, because I know how it's shocking me every time certain things happen. I'm saying the reason people in this company made so much money in December because Bitcoin literally doubled. And we're getting paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum every day. Now we're getting paid Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT. And man, okay. Man, let's go to the infinity pool so we can get out of here because I don't want to, I'm losing it already. I was trying to be calm. But I want to keep it. I hope you're taking pictures of these slides so you can sit down and keep this thing simple for people. Now, the infinity pool says, look, we got 3 sort of infinity rank levels. It's really 9, but it would start with the director level, executive level, ambassador. If you look to the left, it says infinity ranks, director, executive, ambassador. Okay, the company takes 11%. That means the company taking a total of 15% of all the volume and put in their pools. They take 11% and they put these leadership or what we call infinity pools. That means all the volume is taking place. Again, you impressed by me? You said, that Ty Best, he's been in 38 years. He's written 4 books. He's a network. He's a legend. He's all that stuff. Sherry Brown plays it. Great, fantastic. If you believe, then great. You need to get started right now. Okay? If you see thousands of people, hundreds of thousands getting here, you need to get started right now. You say, well, I'm not the best network. Well, this is the program for you. I'm not the best recruiter. Well, this is the program for you. Because you don't have to be. And watch this. Director. You know what director is? 3 people. You sponsor 3, and your whole team does $10,000 of volume. Now, here's the thing. If you've done weight loss, nutrition, cosmetics, 10,000, it just seems like a lot. It seems like you humping, man, because it's hard to move $10,000 for a $20 bottle product or $8 tube of lipstick, okay, or a $20 tube of lipstick or a $4 bottle of juice. That's some work. Well, the juice may not be that hard at $40 a bottle. But it's still hard to having somebody say, I got 100,000 my 401k. How fast can I move that?
Yes.
This is what we have going on here. $10,000 of volume is nothing. I said it now in the call. I know I stepped on some toes when I said it. I said, if you've been in this program for 90 days and you haven't figured out how to put together $10,000 of volume, you're not trying hard enough. I mean, from the bottom of my heart. And what I mean by trying hard enough, I mean, you're not sharing with enough people. And I'm going to come back to that. Please, Mr. Johnson, remind me to talk about activity versus results, because there are 2 different things. You can control the activity. You can't control the results. If you want to up the results, you just got to up your activity. You can't control who says yes, who says no, but you can control your results. And if you've been in for 90 days and you haven't got enough results to create $10,000 of volume, it means you're not producing enough activity. That's all. It means you haven't talked to enough people to produce enough activity. You think you have, but you haven't. Now let's get back to this slide right here, because I'm not trying to lecture you tonight on performance. Okay.
One thing, Mr. Best, that
yes, sir,
that I want to make sure that everyone understands. This is $10,000 in team volume.
Right.
Which means your entire organization, all 9 levels, just needs to generate $10,000 in volume. And if you remember, if you made it to Blockstar, guess what? You're automatically going to hit director if, in fact, it's not all in one leg. You see this rule right here where it tells you it's the 40% rule. You can't have more than 40% in one leg. What is that doing? It's forcing you to build a team. So one person can't ride the efforts of everyone else. But oh, by the way, it's extra, because this bonus over here is an extra bonus as well. All of that's extra. You still get the 18%. This is why that front line production is so important. If you did 10,000 in your front line, you're in good shape. I doubt very seriously if all of it was dropped in one person, but if it was, you still get the bonuses over there. You still get 18%. But oh, by the way, when you get just enough volume to make up the difference, now you get another bonus. They call it double dipping, and it's 11%, as Mr. Betts indicated.
And I would like to add, and it's not 9 levels. It's called the infinity bonus. It's all the levels.
True. My apologies, sir.
It's everything. It's everything. Exactly. And wait, so how do you get 10,000? Well, 10,000 could be done by 100 people doing 100, 50 people doing 200. You understand? You just, no matter how you do it. So when you create the activity, the $10,000 is natural. I was directed in a few hours of the month, every month. I've been directed a few hours every month. Why? Because I'm so great? No, man, because I got a lot of activity. Okay. And then so now all you got to do, so you still got all that money we just talked about in the Blockstar pool, and then you gone out and created $10,000. Oh, by the way, that volume on that first level, that also counts in this volume. They don't separate it. It all still counts as volume. So by the time you got Blockstar done anyway, you already, pretty much done it, erector volume.
Correct. Unless
it's all in one leg or one person. But let's say, so you got the $10,000, now you're in that pool too. And that's average bonuses. That average participation was $540. So now you throw that on top of what you're already making and what you've already earned. And then you say, well, I'm going to keep running. And you go all the way up to executive. Now, here's where it really gets interesting. Because once you're at executive, you're going to pick up not just the executive bonus. For executives, $100,000 of volume. They're also going to pay you the bonus, the pool bonus, 3 ranks deep. Meaning going back from executive to national to regional to director. Got to get executive. That's when we say executive is where you want to go. And then executive is what? An extra $4,000 on top of what you've already earned. So we know by the time you got executive done, you over $10,000 a month and you free from anyone's job. I mean, unless you're one of those folks spending $20,000, $30,000 a month, which you will be eventually, but hopefully that'll be after you got ambassador done and a few other things done. That's how simple this thing is, folks. And I understand now that executive pool is the same thing. It's based on what's happening in the whole world in 150 plus countries. And you say it's a lot of money. We've had people come in and exchange 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 at one time. We've had people come in and spend exchange. I hate to keep saying spend. We're not going to be all over me about that tomorrow. But we're not spending money here. We're exchanging, we're saving. And then the last one, ambassador. That ambassador rank 9, that's not that tough. $1 million, okay, I'm going to grant it. Put together $1 million of business, that may be a challenge, but You know, we got a few people who've done it. We got 4 people in the company who managed to put that together in 1 month, in 30 days. Our organization, Wealth Builders Worldwide, have done over $1 million every month since we launched. Okay, but wait a minute. But not only do those of us who hit that ambassador thing get that pool for what we've done, we get that pool for all those other legs that hit $1 million too. And we get a piece of all those legs that went executive. And do you understand all those who went international, continental, and executive? You want to get executive as fast as you possibly can. Okay. And there isn't any other program out there that shares the revenue like that. We're talking about 15% of the revenue being put in the pool. This is what makes this the ultimate pay plan compared to anything out there in the marketplace. There isn't anything, folks, what you look at that compares to what we're doing. And there isn't a single program out there that has a set of products that are as dynamic as our products happen to be. Nowhere in the marketplace. Nowhere in the marketplace compared to ours. So incredible what's going on. Mr. Johnson put together these slides for me. Appreciate it on the last minute again. But next week, we're going to really delve into the numbers. I just want to keep it so simple so you can take a picture of these things tonight and make it easy for you to explain to other folks, and so they can share it with people so they can see it themselves and see how simple this thing really is for anyone to put themselves in a position to be full-time. It's not that tough of a deal. It really isn't. So, Mr. Johnson, you want to add any? I don't know what else I can tell you. Oh, and this is what I want to say. When I made the statement about activity versus production, people always ask me a lot of times about how I look at. I watch what people do, not what people say, and I don't. My support is never based on their production. I don't base my support on what package a person acquires. I don't base my production on their rank or their pen level or what they told me they're going to do. None of that stuff. Okay. I tell you, watch people's activity, because activity comes first and the production comes after the activity. Just as a person comes in and drop $10,000, that don't make them active. Because if they drop $10,000, they sit on $5 million in the bank, that wasn't really a commitment. It wasn't no sweat off their back. I mean, it's a commitment, but they didn't lose any sleep about it. But a person came and got $1,000 in their bank account and they put $1,000 in this. Now you got a person a lot more committed than a person who put $10,000 out of $5 million, if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm watching what they do, or they plugged into the calls, or they reading the books, or they active. And when I said make a list of everybody, did they make a list, or did they make a list of 2-3 people? And so your activity is going to create the volume. So if you want to create $10,000 of volume, you can't tell 3 people and hope they all buy $2,000, $3,000. They all exchange $2,000, $3,000 of volume. That's the wrong way to do it. The name of the game is go tell as many people as you possibly can, build as big as you possibly can. I guarantee you, as usual, what I say all the time, the more people you have on your team, the more volume you're going to have. People move products. Products don't move people. If there's any one mistake that people make, that's one of them. Okay? And then plug in. People say, well, how do I get myself to do those 3 things? Plug in. Plug it in on a consistent basis is the thing's going to drive you to those 3 things. Folks, look, I'm not going to belabor the conversation. If there aren't any questions, Mr. Josh, you want to add anything? Mr. Delco, Roger Williams, anybody else want to add anything or ask any questions? Let's go from there. I'm done. I'm serious. I'm not going to. What time is it? Oh, dog, it's still 11 o'clock. Mr. Johnson, man, you and I can talk, dude.
Yes, sir.
Open it up. I take 1 or 2 questions if there are any, but I don't think they should. I shouldn't say that. You got a question, please. This is a good time to answer it. And I won't give a 15-minute answer. I give a 5-minute answer. Ms. Dion Stevens, thank you again for a wonderful evening. Thank you, Mr. Nate Hines. Thank all you guys for what you do. I hope that clarified this pay plan. And next week, come back. We're going to go into why is there $1 million here for the next 12 months? It's right here on the table. Okay. In my 38 years, see, boy, I said, this is your flavor of the month. I'm telling you something, folks, it's not my flavor of the month. The last program I did was the best program I've ever seen in my life until this program. Okay. This program is better than any company I've ever owned. I text Mr. Rogers, I think Mr. Delco a picture. I said, this is me, Val, and Alex as CEO of our company. We toe up from a flow up. We working 16, 20 hours a day. I said, I'd rather be free and be an ambassador, a global ambassador in GS Partners, okay, than be the CEO made a lot of money, but man, lifestyle completely different. Freedom is what it's all about, boy. Ooh, 5, 10, 15, 20 grand a month, okay, on the first Sunday, when they dropped that money in all my different wallets, made me tremble. I had to text Mr. Delco and say, how do we explain this to people, what's going on here, without feeling like you boasting or bragging, and we're not. We're trying to show you what's possible. I don't feel uncomfortable about earning the money because I feel like I earned it. But I really do feel uncomfortable talking about it because I know there's a 50-50 out there. Some folks going to be inspired by a person's success and some folks will be haters. Can't do nothing about the haters. Okay? I'm truly hoping you be inspired. And I truly hope you can see that if anybody can do it, you can do it. If anyone can do it, you can do it. Just that simple. So with that in mind, folks, I've said all I wanted to add this evening. Get the rector done. Help everyone on your team get the rector done. And keep duplicating that process over and over again. And your income gonna go through the roof. And look, we didn't talk, think about this now. We already got to the $100,000 of income. We haven't talked about the corn appreciating. We haven't talked about the real estate. We haven't talked about Lydian. We haven't talked about all the new stuff that's coming. We haven't talked about gold. We haven't talked about silver. We haven't talked about platinum. We haven't talked about, wait a minute, all the new incentive stuff that's coming. And please, okay, serious business. If you serious about this thing, in 90 days to 6 months, you should truly be on the other side of the money. But if you're playing with it, it may take a little longer. So what does playing with it mean? Here's what playing with it means. If you're not talking to 4, 5 to 10 new people every single day, you still sort of playing with it. It's okay. Because you're the CEO. Don't feel bad about it. Okay? You're the CEO. Okay? But you want to up your income, up the number of people you're talking to. So with that in mind, anyone else want to add anything?
There was one thing Mr. Best did not mention, and you may want to take a snapshot of this, family, as when you hit the respective ranks, Blockstar, Rising Blockstar, and Blockstar Supreme, anytime anyone on your first level hits those positions, you also get a 25% matching bonus. Family, they just give you more money to do what you've already done. With Rising Blockstar, anytime you promote anyone on your first level that reaches Rising Blockstar for the rest of your life, you get a 25% matching bonus. For Blockstar and Blockstar Supreme, it's a 1-year time frame. If you hit Blockstar this month, 12 months from now, you will get a 25% matching bonus anytime anyone on your first level gets promoted to Blockstar. I call it a training bonus. The company just continues to reward you for whatever you've done. And last but not least, when you see in parentheses, if RB is Rising Blockstar. It's 2 participations if you hit Blockstar. If you were a Rising Blockstar, that's 3 participations. It's 4 participations when you reach Blockstar Supreme. If you were a Rising Blockstar, that's 5 participations. If you add all of them up, that's 9 participations in 1 month. Can it be done? Yes. Has it been done before? Absolutely. There's several people that are on this call that have already done that. It's not a question of does it work, family. The question is, will you work the system? If you follow the system, the system will work for you. Thank you for allowing me to share, Mr. Betts.
I'm done, folks. I'm gonna stop myself. Okay, as my man says, all minds clear, all minds free. Folks, Roger Williams, take us home.